then I saw it, gleaming yellow eyes cutting through the darkness. Whatever this thing was, it followed me. Hey guys, welcome to my first in-person storytelling. I'm super excited. If you're a fan of the paranormal, cryptid stories, or true scary stories, you're in the right place. All you need is an open mind. My name is Andrew, and today I'm going to be telling you an intense story reported by a guy here in the US. I'm going to be telling you this story as if I was the one that reported it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the story. Under the silver gleam of a full moon, I decided to go on a nighttime hike. There was a local area of the woods that had really well-marked trails that was perfect for nighttime hiking. It seemed the trees were whispering in the wind that night. And I don't know if it was the full moon or what it was, but the forest just seemed alive this night. I remember the air being cool and the trail lit so well that night with patches of light and dark made by the trees. I needed this alone time. It had been one hell of a rough week. I was probably about 30 minutes in my hike and the air just shifted. An eerie silence fell over the forest. All the animals went quiet. My heart pounded in my chest as I could feel the presence of something in the shadows. All of my senses were screaming danger, but yet curiosity kept me rooted. Then I heard a rustling sound to my left. A low growl sent shivers down my spine, but I could see nothing. I turned and I started walking briskly back down the path, and then I heard another growl in front of me. Is this the same creature? How did it get in front of me? Silently. I shined my light in the direction of the noise, but again, nothing. And then I heard it, a stick snap about 40 feet behind me. How did it get behind me? How did it do it so quietly again? Is this thing toying with me? I'm now completely freaked out and I start sprinting down the trail, periodically looking behind me with the flashlight. I saw nothing. After running for a few minutes in my pure panic, I fell. I got up and started to collect myself and then just intently listened. But then I saw it, gleaming yellow eyes cutting through the darkness. Whatever this thing was, it followed me. And with ease. I was on open trail. This thing had to have moved through the underbrush and silently. Is this thing hunting me? What does it want? What is it? All these things were racing through my mind. Absolutely terrified in fear, I watched a massive figure emerge from the shadows. Before this gets too juicy, if you're enjoying this type of storytelling, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and don't be a stranger in the comments. Let me know what you think of the video, if you think this story is real, and anything you think I can improve on. That way my next video can be that much better for you guys. Now let's get back to the story. As it emerged out of the darkness and was bathed in moonlight, it was a wolf. But not just any wolf, it was a massive wolf. On all fours, its head was level with me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Its eyes were powerful, glowing a deep yellow, and something struck me odd about the limbs. It was on all fours and it looked like a wolf, but the limbs just weren't quite right, and I couldn't tell what it was until, to my horror, it stood up on its back legs. This thing was massive. It had to have been 7 to 8 feet tall. It had a wolf-like snout, but the eyes were so intelligent looking and intense. There was nothing animalistic about the eyes. It gave me shivers just thinking about it. The muscles on this thing, the chest, the legs, the arms, was more muscular than any human I've ever seen. It screamed power. I don't think even if I had a gun, it would have done a thing to this. I remember getting a good look at its fur. It was dark, deep, rusty red, and it was all matted. It had a really musty smell to it, too. And then we locked eyes. Its gaze pierced into my very soul. An inexplicable connection formed. And at that moment I realized it was studying me just as much as I was studying it. I was still paralyzed in absolute fear. But now I couldn't put my finger on if it truly wanted to hurt me or if it was just curious. Suddenly, out of nowhere, it let out a deep, bone-chilling howl. It rattled my chest and shook my bones. I remember falling to the ground and just putting my hands up in complete submission. I then heard the creature make a grunt, almost like a grunt of satisfaction. And as I slowly looked up, it was gone. It was gone again just as fast and just as silently as it appeared a minute ago. I began sprinting back to the car. I was filled with anxiety and fear. Every step felt way too slow. The thought that this thing could catch me at any moment if it wanted to was overwhelming me. I finally reached the car, and it probably only took a couple seconds, but it felt like minutes as I fumbled with my keys to get the door unlocked. I got inside and slammed the door. I breathed a slight breath of relief, put the key in the ignition, and started the car. Right as I was putting it in drive, I saw it one last time. The big, yellow, powerful eyes looking at me through the darkness, almost like it just wanted to remind me I could have had you if I wanted you. I had yet to go on another hike, daytime or nighttime. The fear that I felt was so primal. And I don't know what's more stressful. The fact that I had this encounter, or the fact that all of my friends and family look at me like, "Are you okay?" when I try to tell them this story. It's so frustrating to be this traumatized and everybody think you're just crazy. You can call me skeptical with an open mind. I have a really hard time believing a lot of these stories, but at the same time, there are so many accounts from around the entire world of similar nature, similar descriptions, similar interactions. I also can't deny that it's completely not true. As always, keep an open mind. I'll see you in the next one.